If you have Take Care insurance and you've visited the Guam Regional Medical City in the past, you may want to listen up and be expecting a bill in the mail. GRMC announced in a press release that they will be sending out letters in the mail to Take Care members who have utilized their services from 2015 onward, and these letters will be seeking payment. The release says, out of the 4 major insurance agencies, Take Care is the only company that has refused to place GRMC in its provider network. Thus, GRMC says the hospital has borne the cost for Take Care members, the vast majority of whom were treated for emergency care. That cost is now in the millions, and Take Care has refused to reimburse GRMC for those emergency services. Although Take Care did attempt to make a payment of about $50,000, GRMC says it was only a fraction of the total amount due. You can read the entire release online at thepacificnewscenter.com. The Guam Department of Education announced this afternoon that they finally secured busing services for those that depend on it the most, summer school students. However, the first 2 days without the service has already negatively impacted enrollment. PNC's Rebecca Elmore has the story.
Summer school is in, but where are the buses? Most of the summer school students heavily rely on public transportation. But for the first 2 days, the task has unfortunately fallen on the parents, relatives, or legal guardians. One individual today told us he had to carve out time out of his workday.
Are you the only one who can pick her up?
Yes.
And if you can't pick her up, will she be able to go to school?
I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm out for delivery, then maybe it's gonna be hard for me to come here every day.
Enrollment has already been affected.
It affected enrollment big time. Because of transportation, elementary and middle school don't drive, so of course that affected. And whereas high school always had no buses provided, so they're pretty much used to it. But the middle school and the elementary had impact, negative impact.
According to Assistant Principal Gayleen Cruz from Untalon Middle School, less than half of her students showed up today alone.
We probably showed up out of 90, probably 36 showed up. But we're going to see tomorrow what the bus is being provided, and we're going to give it this week. And hopefully we have hopes that we'll see an increase in the population.
In an effort to comply with the Office of Public Accountability's previous audit, Fernandez says this was the first year that GDOE has gone out to bid on the transportation for the schools.
This is the 4th time we've gone out to try to secure proposals and bids to provide those services. In each of our 4 procurement processes, we've received no bids from anybody.
Today, Deputy Superintendent Chris Anderson told the media that the bus services will finally be provided, and that will mean the students can focus less on getting a ride to and from school and more on their studies. Reporting for PNC News, I'm Rebecca Elmore.
All right, and in just a little bit, we'll check in with Chelsea Cruz for a look at the island's weather. But first, here's the Pediatric Minute with Dr. Del Rosario.
Hi, I'm Dr. Del Rosario. Today we will be talking about water safety. Now that school's out and most kids are on summer break, that inevitably means more time spent at the beach, pools, and water parks. Spending time outdoors is great, but being in the water can be dangerous for kids if we don't take the proper precautions. So let's review ways to keep children safe in the water. First and foremost, remember that kids need constant supervision around water. Young children are especially at risk and can drown in as little as 2 inches of water. That means drowning can happen where you least expect it, even in places like the sink, a bathtub, an inflatable pool, or other small bodies of standing water. So never leave a young child unattended, and always watch them closely when they're in or near any water. Also make sure that young children and weak swimmers always have an adult swimmer close by, within arm's reach. Second of all, don't assume that a child who knows how to swim isn't at risk for drowning. Just because a child has had swimming lessons or is using a floaty does not mean that they're safe from drowning. This is especially true out in the ocean, where strong currents and waves can be dangerous for even the most experienced swimmers. So, in case of a possible drowning incident, what should you do? Survival depends on a quick rescue and restarting breathing as soon as possible. If you see a child struggling or face down in the water, immediately get them out while calling for help. Have someone call 911. Check the child's airway, and if they are not breathing, immediately deliver rescue breaths and start CPR if you've been trained to do so. The other important thing we can do is teach them how to take the proper precautions when they are in or near the water. Teach your kids the following do's and don'ts about water safety. Never run or push anyone around the pool. Never dive in areas that are not marked for diving. never swim alone, always be careful in the ocean and never go out on the reef or beyond it, and always call for help and contact a lifeguard or an adult if there's an emergency. So by being aware of and practicing these safety precautions, you and your family can safely enjoy spending time in the water this summer. For Pediatric Minute, I'm Dr. Del Rosario.
And welcome to your PNC weather forecast brought to you by First Pt2, GUAM Memorial, and Dipsticks on Chelsea Cruise. Now, if you check out any of those weather apps or widgets, it's probably going to tell you we've got thunderstorms ahead, even though it may not look like it right now. Well, they're not entirely wrong. Right now, your forecast is showing partly cloudy skies and isolated showers, mostly sunny. In fact, for tomorrow, the heat index value around 100 degrees during the hottest part of the day. No rain anticipated yet, but you will have noticed that the winds have dropped yet again, back to 5 to 10 miles per hour. So much like last week, these look like the winds could cause another island convection that could potentially build up clouds in the area and produce thunderstorms. It's still not exactly a high chance of showers, but as the winds continue to stay low, those chances do get better. Thursday is when we could see those rain clouds rolling in and the chance of showers does increase. No scattered showers or thunderstorms are anticipated anytime soon, but we'll see how things develop and we'll update you as we move closer and closer to the end of the week. For now, that's all the weather you can look forward to. I'll see you again tomorrow for more updates. Until then, have a good night.
PNC Weather Report is brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes. And GUAM Windward Memorial. And Dipsticks, located in the heart of Jalan Pago.